guys.
So we're out here at Evraz Recycling. Show you guys the machine we're working on today. We're going to be hard facing their claw, or hard surfacing their claw. We went ahead and got new claw tips put on here about 4 months ago. I like to see the wear pattern before I start to build up. So that's what we're doing now. Flip the camera around. I'll show you guys what they look like worn and what they look like built up. So you can see this one's worn down. The tip usually starts as a nice square tip, and you can see it worn back. This one I've started building up already. This is just hard wire or solid core wire, building it up to get our shape. We'll grind that down to a nice point. We'll start hard surfacing it with our Ranite D. All right, so we've got our base material stuck on there. Like I said, I'm just using ER70S6. Build those tips back up to where they were. What I like to do is, the last time we did this, we put new tips on. You can see where the backside gets worn off the most. But what I like to do is go ahead and build up with our mild steel solid core wire, take it down to a point with the grinder back the way it looked when they were new, and then go ahead and add our hard face on there. But I like to switch out the tips and not put any hard face on them and have them running for about a month or two and see where they're wearing. And then I know where to put my hard face on, where it needs it, where it doesn't, because if we're just slapping hard face all over the place with no care, it's kind of a waste of time, waste of money for the customer, and you're just putting more and more heat into those tips. So like I said, I like to be effective about what we're doing. We don't want to just waste customers' money. These guys treat me really well. We got the rig out here. Truly blessed to be where we're at. I'm gonna go ahead and get these ground down, and I'll show you guys what that looks like after we grind them down. Okay, as you can see, we got this one all built up, got it cleaned up down to a point. Now we'll be ready to get the rest of them ground down and ready for the hard surface. All right, they're all cleaned up, built up to the point that I want them anyway. Much better. You can see how much wears down. And they wanted them brought to a little more of a point this time. So when these are done right, you can actually pick up, you know, thin sheets of 16 gauge with the tips of these. Should be able to. So now we've got our Ranite D out. It's a Rankin product, Ranite D. I'm running a 5/32 rod, but honestly, I would just try to get as big as you can. Obviously, the less passes you have to make. This stuff, it's not recommended to make any, not recommended to do more than your base or your root pass and then one cap on top of that. So 2 layers, that's it, max. And this stuff burns pretty nasty, but I try to keep it in a single layer if I can get it built high enough. So let's get after it. We got the baby machine in here today, so we'll see how she runs that rod. I've never burnt this rod with this machine. All right, so I'm gonna get some leathers on because I don't feel like burning myself today. This stuff burns really hot, so it's got some spatter to it. I've already started laying a little bit down. Machine seems to be doing okay. I'm just, this Eagle 10,000, I've only had it in the truck a couple of months, and I'm used to my Commander 500. That thing's a beast. It'll run anything I throw at it. I can air arc for 10 hours with that thing straight, no problem. This one, I'm not sure about. We've got her cranked up, so. Oh, that hurt. That stuff goes on and it looks pretty nasty, but it does the job. Like I've said before in my other video, it definitely doesn't look like Studi when it goes on. Let me get a wire wheel out. I think I've gotten something. I backed the machine down a little bit, and it seems to be running a little smoother. Again, you're going to have spatter, but I was burning a little hot the first time. Oh, it was funny. Somebody on the last video commented and said, respirator, my guy. As far as that goes, we're outside. I'm not a pussy. So, it'll be alright. If I was in close quarters, then yes, I would definitely recommend a respirator. You definitely need some kind of extraction fan or something doing this inside. It's horrible. But outside, you can see where the smoke is flowing. We do have some wind. What I'm doing here is just a simple pattern. Looks kind of like zebra stripes right now. With this particular piece of equipment, it wears more on this face and tip than it does anywhere else. So I'm going to go ahead and put quite a bit of this down the face of it. We're coming on winter and this place gets pretty muddy. So hopefully it'll pick up some of that mud and gravel and hold it inside those cavities so that it wears on that and not the tip. when welding outside, grinding outside, make sure that you don't have any grass or anything, any kind of fuel downwind of you. If it gets much windier than it is now, I'll just shut down because I'm not trying to test my insurance. I don't want to burn this place down. All right, so I got a little bit of hard face on there. Just trying to see what's gonna keep this thing from wearing the best. I try something new, like a new pattern, or build it into a sharper point or a duller point each time, just trying to figure out what works best. This time I went to a sharper point on them, and we'll see how long those last. I keep track of it in my calendar. Try to, like I said, try to save these guys money over the long run. But I'm a little worried about this Eagle 10,000. It's got 100 hours on it, and I was just running that rod, and it does not sound good. It's making some kind of, almost like a knocking noise when I weld with it. It's had 3 services in 100 hours, so it's well taken care of, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm letting it cool down a little bit and see if that changes anything. I don't have anything charging on it right now. My big Commander 500, I can run my chargers, grinders, and weld all at the same time. This thing is not so much. You're supposed to leave it, you're supposed to turn it all the way up to 10 on your fine control, turn it all the way up to 10 anytime you're using the AC outlet, so I can't even charge anything while I'm welding. So the big machine's probably going to go back in there. All right, so we got our tips, or we got our machine rotated now. Gonna start building up this end. We've got our other 2 claws all built up and hard faced. So now what I'm doing is building material out to make that point, because there's quite a bit that's worn away over the past few months since we went ahead and replaced the tips on this thing. So yeah, I'm just using solid core wire. It's a little windy, so I bumped up my argon a little bit. I could run straight CO2, but my bottle's empty. So I'm running C25. So you can see here, I'm just basically stacking material to create the portion that is missing, that's worn off. Build that back up, and then we'll get our hard face on top to cap it and protect it from further wear. Alright, so we're just finished up. Went ahead, we built these up, built these claws up. There was quite a bit of parent material missing, so we went ahead and used solid core wire, got those built up, ground down, then we went over it with our Granite D. Our Granite D is from Rankin Industries. Yeah, got it all finished up. It'll be ready for another 4 months of service. Thanks for watching.